Hey, good morning, you guys. All right, I'm super excited about this one. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I've been working on, and so what we're doing is roller painting. Okay, so let me show you a bit. I still have some stencils on there, but if you look at these two, this is kind of what we're going for. How cute are those? All right. And I'm waiting on those just so I'm able to show you guys what it's like when we pull them off. All right, so that's why it's not a complete example. All right, so what we're gonna start off with is just some canvas. These ones are just flat canvases. If you decide to use fabric paint, you could do this on like on some bags or something like that. You know, like you're able to use it a little more versatile, even on t-shirts and stuff. Okay, so we got and so that was just a pack. I think I got it from Michael's or something, a 5-pack, and these are 8 by 10, and they're individually wrapped. So we're just gonna grab some scissors to snip that, because otherwise you guys will be sitting here for 10 minutes watching you trying to fight the plastic. All right, here we go. Tear that off. All right. And make sure if you're having trouble seeing what's going on down here, make sure you swipe your comments to the right. All right. And if you guys who are watching it live can see or are having difficulty seeing, then just let me know. All right. All right. So here we go. We got this laying out. All right. And then if you guys look, I have, and these are just hair rollers. Okay. So that's what we're using today. So that's why it's a really great craft for kids, because it's really inexpensive. So you get 8 in a package at the dollar store, and that's what we're using. All right. So we're just, mostly this is for the background example, and I'll show you what I did for getting the caricatures. All right, so here we go. So we got the yellow, double checking. Oh, it is still good. All right, I thought it might dry out by the time I got to this. All right, so we're just gonna start off with the yellow. All right, and I'm just here. I'll move it here just so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna add, you wanna use a decent amount. Make sure you shake it really good. Some of my paints are starting to get old, so I have to rotate them out. So this one's a little bit liquidy. All right, there we go. All right, so what we're just gonna do is we're gonna just roll it a bit. They can be a bit stiff. Okay, so I'll show you what we do when they're being a bit stiff. Just kind of squish it in. It will be a little bit messy, but it is tons of fun, and the kids will love this game. All right, and of course you don't have to do it in the same order that I'm doing it in. You can shake it up some. All right, just making sure I paint on the whole thing. Make sure it's soaked in a little bit. All right, I'm just setting that aside so then I can do the roll, okay? All right, so we're just gonna do the roll. All right, there we go. All right, so we're just starting at the bottom. That was a couple of spots with a little less paint. All right, and so I did have a couple times where it would stick where it wasn't rolling quite as well. And so I find those spots, to get the same texture, you can just kind of dab it, and that will help fill in the gap, or you can roll over it again and get that texture going. So let me quickly wipe my hands. So you definitely want to have some cloths around, otherwise you're going to be mixing all the paints and stuff. So just so you can wipe your fingers in between each roll, so you're not, like I said, mixing the colors too much. So I kind of want to see if you guys are able to see that texture. Oh, there you go. So there's that texture there, and I really like that. It definitely gives it more of that fall autumn feel to it. All right, so that's what we do, and of course we do that for the same for the red and for the orange. And I just kind of spaced it out when they didn't come out even. I just kind of did an extra roll to make them a little bit closer to each other. All right, and then you could totally even do blending and stuff like that too, and just roll it. So lots of options. All right, so I have one that I'm hoping is dry. Okay, it's mostly dry. All right, so now we're going to do the stencils, okay? So these stencils just from the dollar store too, okay? And they are sticky. I want to try and make sure that you guys can see this. I'm going to be doing it upside down, so if it's a bit clumsy, don't be too surprised. So as you guys can see, these are the ones that I already used. So that fox is the one that I already used there, okay? So I'm going to take that because I think it's a really good example one to do with the roller. So it's really, really thin. You know, you probably can't get too many uses out of it. If you're going to try and use it again, you'll want to let it dry, okay? Because I don't think you can wash this off. Like, I don't think you'll have much luck there. So it's really sticky. So I suggest holding the 2 corners and just kind of laying it out. So kind of figure out where you want it to go and line it up, because once you start shifting it, it'll stick in one spot, and then it will change the form of it, right? So you kind of want to give it a leading spot and just kind of guide it down. All right, so there we go. We got it on there. All right, so that's what we're looking at. And then, here, let me make myself a little bit of room. All right, this one is the fox color, and so it's kind of a red brown, so I was hoping it would be a little bit more of a fall color. All right, just gonna open that, put a bit more down. You know, same thing. So because that's dry, I'm gonna set it on there. And just making sure that you get it all covered. And yes, that does pop off sometimes. Not sure I got quite enough paint down. There we go. That should do it. Just make sure you're getting it all covered up so you're able to get that shape. And it does make it a bit easier to have it attached, so I go ahead and reattach it. It just kind of pops off the end, but you'll see it's pretty easy. All right, so this one I found there's not quite enough room to go this way, so that's what kind of why I wanted to do this one, because it is a little bit harder. So I just did it sideways instead. So once more, we're just trying to get that roll going. This one isn't quite rolling right now. And then, like I said, if you have problems with that, then just kind of dab it, okay? And make sure you fill it all in. Okay, and then I'm going to show you one other way how to do these stencils. Okay. All right, so we just make sure you don't see any of that other color coming through, and just be careful you're not going off the stencil. I went off just a little bit here. I'm going to bring it up closer for you guys to see. So if you look really closely, you know, there's a couple of dots here on this side, but I think I got it all covered, okay? So I'm just gonna leave that one there. I actually placed all those ones before I did it, so it was super easy. All right, so the second one, sorry, remembering that I'm trying to make it easier for you guys to see. All right, so the next one that we're gonna do, here it is. All right, so this is the full stencil. So I haven't used the bird one, so I thought I'd use that and then show you guys how I did the one with different colors. All right, so, I mean, I definitely think the owl is cuter, but we got the bird here. All right, so I placed that, super easy. I wanted to show you guys, you know, in case you couldn't see, the owl has a bit of color in there. And that was, I added in extra color before it had totally dried, so that's why it's kind of melding colors. So I wanted to show you guys, I'm kind of excited for this. I'm going to show you guys the raccoon. And then we're going to do something similar. How cute is that? How cute is that? Oh, I'm so glad it turned out so well. All right. Super, super adorable. All right. So I'm just going to set that aside and save it. So hopefully I can use it again if I let it dry. All right. And so now we're going to do the bird. We'll do something similar, and I'll show you guys how I was able to get the different colors in there, because obviously I didn't use the sponge for that, right? So I just grabbed a regular paintbrush. All right, and we're going to just color this one up a bit. All right, why don't we make it mostly white? Okay, do white for the outside. White for the outside. Okay, and then some white in the tail. And you always want to do those lighter colors first, and then you can often keep on using the same paintbrush, which is nice, because then you're not washing as much, right? Okay, we're just filling that in, debating on whether that one should be white. So I'm very messy painter. So I'm able to use the same paintbrush as you saw. I just wipe it on my arm to clean it off enough that I can keep on using it. All right, and we're gonna do the black there, and a black here. All right, and I think maybe we'll do the black eye and black under. All right, and I have a little bit of the orange and the yellow hopefully still wet, and I do, it's still a bit wet, so I'm just gonna dab in there, just a little bit on there. And the really great thing that that I noticed I was able to do with the lettering for that, so I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, just filling that in. All right, and so we can go ahead and take that off. I'm gonna see. Okay. And when you do it when it's wet, it does a little bit of a softer texture. I think if you let it dry, it'll make it more sharp. So it's up to you whether you want it a little bit softer. I kind of think with autumn, the softer is kind of more fun and goes with it a little bit better. All right, and so that was just one one thing on it. All right, and we can take off this and we can see what that comes out like after it's been able to dry just a little bit. Look at that. How cute is that? It came out so good. All right, and so then I also want to show you just one more tip on this, so then you guys will be able to do it. And like I said, these would be great for fabric paint, doing t-shirts or bags or anything like that. And of course, you can do things other than the autumn characters, which I chose, but they were just so cute, I couldn't not get them. All right, so in the middle, there's some wording. There was the wording option. And so let's pull that off. And I want you to see... Okay, it's a little bit more muddled. So what I did on that one is I actually did it twice, and it might have been too much paint there because, as you can see, it's a little bit harder to read, but it says little friends. Oh, and it's backwards for you guys, of course. But yeah, so that's what we did. So if you want to do the hand painting and choose the different colors for each section, you can, oh, it's still wet, my bad. You can get the fox or the kangaroo, what is it? Raccoon. There we go. All right. So that's what we got. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you guys do it with your kids. Make sure you show me what colors they choose and what designs, because of course you don't just have to do the 3. You could do all wild all over. I'm sure they'll have a lovely mix of colors by the end and a lovely brown for autumn. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos, you can add me as a friend here on Facebook or follow me here on Facebook. I also try to put my videos on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube right now, subscribe. That would be great. You're welcome to sprinkle the video around if you enjoyed it. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, and we will talk to you all soon. All right, bye-bye. Have a good day.